Good evening. Welcome to the Transferring to the University of Findlay Q&A Google Hangout. We are coming to you live from Oiler Nation. Sitting in front of us, we've got Callie, Sean, and Jayson, and we are going to get their introductions here in a second. First, before we get started with anything, please remember that you can tweet in all of your questions to @UFindlay using the hashtag AskUF. And there is a chat room box below the video. And if you'd like to use that to submit some questions, go right ahead. Tonight, we're going to talk specifically to transfer students who are looking at transferring and getting them here to the University of Findlay. We're going to speak about the application process, transferring of credits, the registration process, and we're going to hit on some special requirements that some of our programs might have specifically for transfer students. We're going to go into some Q&A after that, and we're going to take your questions live and give you some live answers at the same time. So let's talk to the panelists and do a round of introductions.
Ladies first.
All right. My name is Callie. I am a senior here at the University of Findlay. I'm studying sport and event management with minors in marketing and human resource management. And I started at the University of Findlay my sophomore year.
Hey everybody, Sean Boley, transfer admissions counselor here at the University of Findlay. Glad to be here and ask any questions you have.
And I'm Jayson Schube, and I'm a senior here at the University of Findlay. I'm an education major. I transferred here last fall.
All right, let's get right into it. Everybody wants to know about the application process. So, Sean, start us off. Talk to us about the application process from a transfer point of view.
Sure, absolutely. As far as a transfer application, very simple. We can mail you an application so you can handwrite it if you want, or you can go to www.findlay.edu. Click the apply now and complete the transfer application. Take probably 5-10 minutes to complete. There is a personal essay included. It's 200, 500 words essay, why you're interested in University of Findlay, why you're interested in your major, what have you. With the application, we will need the transfer recommendation form as well. What the transfer recommendation form is, it's a front and back page. You can print it out as a PDF. The student would have complete the first part. The registrar or dean of students at your most recent university would complete the second part and send that back in to us here at the University of Findlay. Then we would need all the official transcripts from all colleges and universities that you had previously attended sent to us. And if you graduated from high school less than 2 years ago, then we would need your official high school transcript. So once we have all that information, we'd be able to make an acceptance decision and go from there.
All right. Our two transfer students, do you guys have anything to say or add on to about the application process from your guys' perspective?
It's a pretty easy process, especially after I applied to multiple schools before my freshman year, and then whenever I applied to transfer to UF, it seemed more simple, and I was ready for that. So compared to other schools I applied, Findlay's is pretty easy.
I would have to agree with her. It is a pretty simple process. I mean, nothing really hard about it.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic, the transferring of credits.
As far as transfer credits, as a transfer admissions counselor, I'm able to do an unofficial transcript evaluation for you. If you send us your unofficial transcript, we can see how potentially those classes would come in. No remedial courses would not transfer into the University of Findlay. Courses have to be 100 level or higher, as well as a grade of a C or higher for those to transfer in. As far as the official transcript evaluation, once we get the acceptance decision into the University of Findlay, we will get your official transcripts sent over to the registrar's office, and they would officially evaluate those for you. As far as a general rule of thumb, really definitely want to work with us right away if you're looking to transfer to the University of Findlay. If you have another semester at your current university or institute, that way we can point you in the right direction and really make sure that you're getting the biggest bang for your buck, so those courses would transfer in. One thing that I forgot to mention about the application process is the FAFSA. We have various scholarships as well for transfer students. It's based off cumulative GPA, so we combine all the GPAs. Those scholarships range from $9,000 up to $15,000 off the tuition. That's automatically renewed every year as long as you're good academic standing and going full-time. Full-time student here at the University of Findlay. is 12 to 18 semester hours. So really you're looking at 4 to 6 classes that are 3 semester hours each. As far as the FAFSA, you definitely want to file that. You can be doing that in January. We do recommend all students to file that. That way you can get a financial aid award package out to you.
All right. For transfer specifically, the registration process. Sean, if you want to speak a little bit about maybe early registration, the orientation process.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have 2 priority registration dates coming up in April 16th. That's a Thursday evening. April 18th is a Saturday morning. For students that have been accepted, they can come register early for those classes that start in the fall. We do recommend that. That way it's a little bit easier and you can get a head start. Make sure your classes aren't full. So we do recommend that. Other than that, there's 2 new student registration days that are combined with first-time freshmen transfer students. Those are a lot bigger, so I do highly recommend the priority registration days so you're not fighting with the first-time freshmen that are going to be on campus. So that's my recommendation. And then if those days are passed, then we can do one-on-one new student registration when you come into the office, and we get you set up with a faculty advisor to sign up for classes.
You guys want to speak on your registration process a little bit? If you can remember back that far.
Yeah. It is coming to the registration days were very helpful when it comes to talking to your advisors, getting to know them, getting to know the buildings and the other people and the other faculty in the rooms. That helps a lot, making me feel more comfortable with getting started here at the University of Findlay.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience. I came to one of the early registration days and got to meet a lot of my professors that I'm still having today, and so they were able to tell me, learn about me and help guide me with what was best for me to start out.
All right. And before we get into our last topic, real quick, you can tweet in all of your questions to @UFindlay using the hashtag AskUF. Even after this Google Hangout ends live, you can certainly use the hashtag AskUF to continue to ask your questions. If you're watching this tomorrow morning or the next week, we will still monitor that and answer your questions. So let's get into our last topic and then a round of some Q&A here and there. Let's talk about the special programs that might have some additional requirements for transfer students.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few programs have additional requirements. You definitely want to work with your admissions counselor right away so you don't miss those deadlines. Occupational therapy, physical therapy, pharmacy, all those have additional applications, supplemental applications on top of the general University of Findlay application. So definitely do not want to miss those deadlines. There's GPA requirements that are different than the other programs that we have on campus, as well as some of the prereqs that need to be completed before trying to get into those programs. So definitely contact your admissions counselor as soon as possible if you're interested in transferring to the University of Findlay.
All right, so some simple Q&A questions that we've gotten from this evening and over the last week or so. I'll just throw them out there and then go ahead and answer them, guys. How many hours will transfer from another institution?
As far as the number of hours transferred from another institution, University of Findlay will accept up to 62 semester hours from a 2-year institution. As far as a 4-year institution, will take the majority of those. You do need to make sure that you complete for the bachelor's degree at least the last 30 hours, semester hours, to earn that bachelor's degree, as well as complete the competency courses as well. So we do have a lot of articulation agreements set up with 2-year institutions around the state, where if a student gets an Associate of Arts, Associate of Science from those 2-year institutions, most of the gen eds would be waived except the competency courses. Those 3 competency courses would need to be met, but very easy to transfer into the University of Findlay.
One of the questions I keep hearing about is, transfer students making that decision but not necessarily fully committing to it because they need to figure out first what classes are going to transfer into UF. How are they able to do that?
Like I said earlier, great question. This you definitely want to work with your admissions counselor. Send us the courses that you're looking to take. We'll do an unofficial evaluation on what you're planning to take and point you in the right direction as far as that goes. But really, a general psychology, for instance, from a 2-year institution, most likely is going to transfer in as our general psychology here. That's just the general rule of thumb, but it's better to double check with your admissions counselor.
When I transferred in, I knew that I was going to transfer around this time of my freshman year, but I wasn't going to start until the fall. And so I was able to talk to the people at the University of Findlay about what courses I should schedule for my spring semester, so that I made sure I wasn't losing any credit, or that everything I was taking that next coming semester would go through.
I also remember talking to the transfer advisor at the community college I went to, and just going in and making sure that all the classes that I'd taken so far would transfer. And then on top of that, what classes that I was going to finish taking at the college would transfer to the University of Findlay, just to make sure that they all transferred.
All right, so if I'm a transfer student, when do my classes start?
Good question. Classes do start for this spring 15, January 5th. That's a Monday. And then the fall semester for 2015 would be the middle of August.
All right. Scholarships. It's always a big question, and I know transfer students coming in might think, well, I don't know if I'm eligible or not. So what scholarships do we have available for our transfer students?
As far as GPA, there's a transfer merit scholarship. It ranges from 9,000 up to 15,000. It's based off cumulative GPA. GPA, you need at least a 2.0 to be considered a transfer student to get into the University of Findlay, as well as 12 transferable semester hours. But keep in mind those specific programs, like I mentioned before, OT, PT, pharmacy, there's higher GPA requirements for those. That scholarship that I mentioned is strictly based off GPA, your grade. So definitely keep those up. The higher the GPA, the more money you're going to get. It's always a good thing.
Always a good thing. So one final plug, and then we'll go into some final thoughts from you guys, is you can use you can tweet in your questions to @UFindlay using that hashtag AskUF. So from a perspective, from the students that we have in front of us, you guys have been here, you've been through the process. What thoughts do you have to give to prospective students that may want to transfer to Findlay?
Probably be to start whenever you feel like you want to transfer, I guess. Start talking to the people at the University of Findlay. And most colleges and universities have someone there that comes every once a week or something like that from the University of Findlay, so you can actually talk to them right there and then. I remember doing that.
Yeah, I think it's, like I said earlier, it's a pretty simple process, and everyone at the University of Findlay is very friendly. So if you have any questions, yeah, like Jayson said, just contact them, and they're very good about getting back to you and helping you in whatever you need.
Yeah, like both the students mentioned before, contact the advisor right away. If you're looking to transfer, we're happy to help you. That's our job. That's why we're here. Don't feel like you're bombarding us with emails, phone calls. Contact us. We'll get back with you as soon as we can and answer any questions you have.
Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen joining us, thank you for joining us. We are going to sign off tonight. I think Sean said it best. If you have questions, get a hold of us. No problem. So from Oiler Nation, I wish you all a good night.